So I'm Ben, I'm co-founder and creative director at Fiasco Design.
I'm Jason Smith. I'm co-founder and senior designer here at Fiasco Design. I was even chefing at one point and taking calls in the kitchen and trying to arrange meetings, working 5 jobs. And I think it's the energy we had. Obviously, age helped, and we just loved it and we really enjoyed it. And I think from that enjoyment, it just gave us a lot of fuel to kind of keep persisting. And also through the magazine and freelancing and doing collaborative work, whether that be free or with mates or wherever, that helped us grow a circle of friends in Bristol and the kind of southwest. And that work we did actually helped us produce a portfolio which we could actually use in a kind of professional capacity. And without that kind of start and those kind of contacts and those friendship groups we had, it would have been a hell of a lot harder to do what we did.
I think it was hard anyway, because we really did start from scratch. I mean, I talk about this with other co-founders and they just think we're mental, because, you know, often the case of the startup is they'll come from another agency or some kind of design background first, so they'll bring with them a portfolio of clients or they'll bring with them a certain level of experience. We really went into this with no experience. Like, neither of us had had a full-time job at a design agency before.
No business experience.
We didn't understand, we didn't know how to run an agency. We didn't know what the dynamics or structure of a typical design agency was. And we didn't come with that portfolio of clients. So we were really doing everything from scratch, which, as I said, people just think we were mad for doing. But at the time, because we were so young and we didn't have any other idea, it was almost naivety, meant that there were no restrictions. And I guess that was kind of, in a way, a strength of ours, because it went into everything with open arms and just embraced any new work that came along. We said yes to everything and worried about the rest later. And then through that way of working, we slowly sort of started to refine and hone who we were as a company and the type of work that we wanted to be doing and the type of work we didn't want to be doing, and also how we work with people and how we work with our clients. And that's taken a long time to do.
The way we started with just us and running accounts and kind of marketing, meetings, business development, and then actually doing the work, because we were forced to kind of wear so many hats, we seriously learnt very quickly on the job. And that kind of time that we were alone for the first couple of years, I think that was actually really helpful.
I think also there's an element of this that we were in an incubator space to begin with. So we were surrounded by a lot of other startups, and naturally startups need branding, they need all the kind of standard business collateral stuff. They need small brochure websites. So actually for us it was perfect, because we were able to go into this environment where we were getting nurtured as a business through this UE incubator, but we were also getting the opportunity to work with startups and other small businesses that needed design services but didn't have huge budgets. So we would come in and we would work with them, and that was a really sort of important platform for us at the very start, because those people were obviously putting a lot of trust and faith in us, not having any experience, not having a portfolio of much to fall back on, but were putting their faith in us that we could do a fairly good job to help brand their business and take it forward a little bit. And so that was just a really key part of our early development as a business, working with those smaller startups and small businesses. There's a couple or a few that come to mind that happened at different stages through the journey. The first one was working on a job with a production company in London called Something Else, for an online game for Channel 4. That came in off the back of some freelance work that I'd been doing, some illustration work that I'd been doing at the time. And they basically wanted to, well, we were commissioned basically to create a whole set of characters and furniture and environments for this game. And it was, at the time, it was, you know, it's Channel 4 knocking on your door. It's a massive, massive deal. And it was, in the end, it's sort of 2 to 3 months job. So financially, it was really good for us as a business at the time. But that was massive. You know, that was a bit of a landmark moment in the sort of history of the company, and the game did really well. We actually won a children's BAFTA, which again, you know, for a company of our size going into like the 3rd year of business or something, was pretty big.
I was just going to say that also kind of really made us aware of how important kind of social media was, and kind of Twitter. So I think that's how the first conversations we kind of started to have with Something Else happened through Twitter. And yeah, we started to, well, we definitely don't take Twitter for granted, basically, in terms of those first kind of initial years.
It's really important to use those types of platforms, because again, when you're a small business and you don't have a marketing budget, you don't have an advertising budget, you know, you're doing all of this stuff in and around work, and when that comes in, trying to balance that, and it's that perpetual motion of, you know, having lots of stuff in and then things drop off, and then having to get more work in, and how do you do that new business bit? I think in the early days, it's really important just to get yourself out there on any of these social networks and just put your work out there, because you just don't know whose phone or computer is gonna get that little notification, or they're gonna, you know, someone's gonna pick up on that tweet that you put out or that post on Facebook. Or so I think we got the Channel 4 gig off the back of a tweet. Ironically enough, we also started working with Penguin Random House off the back of a tweet, and that again just came from someone within Penguin who was looking for a design dev team to help them with some author sites for some of their authors, and we saw that. We got back in touch with them, heard nothing for 3 or 4 months, and then one day we just got an email saying, oh, we've got an author site that we'd like to take a look at. It was a series called Gods and Warriors. Not a huge job, but again, it's an in with a really reputable brand like Penguin Random House. Off the back of that, we did the design and build for the Snowman and the Snow Dog website, which again, for a team of creatives and myself as an illustrator background, was just amazing to have the opportunity to work with all those assets and build a home for that, you know, a digital home for that. Another one that I was just going to get onto after this Snowman site was the Pelican website. So we had this sort of succession of projects come in through Penguin Random House, and again, Pelican was just this is a website that we helped with a little bit of UX, but it was UI and development work for a new platform for Pelican Books, and it was a very long, at points quite arduous and stressful job, but in the end we just had this beautiful looking digital product that when launched was, you know, appeared in the Guardian and the Independent and all the big sort of, you know, It's Nice Stats and Design Weeks, and ended up winning a series of awards and a D&AD pencil as well, which at this point we were probably around the 4.5-5 year mark.
I think we just had our 5th birthday, didn't we?
Yeah, and you know, to win a D&AD pencil that's kind of the mecca of design awards for designers. So yeah, just super proud of the work we did for that, and coming through the end of the project and having something that we were all really proud of.